All right. Welcome to our presentation. Today I will tell you something about living abroad and what benefits you can get from living abroad. And after that, Lena will tell you something about anxiety. And you might wonder why we are only two persons. So we were five in the beginning, but yeah, three of us left the course early. Um, yeah, so I will just start. First off, why I chose the topic. I will be going abroad for 8 months in September to Australia. And I do that because I'm studying to become a teacher and I want to learn English and I want to get to know an English-speaking country and the culture of an English-speaking country. And overall leave my comfort zone, which brings me to my first point of yeah benefits benefits you can get from living abroad. So as I said, it's stepping out of your comfort zone by going to another country for multiple months. You will definitely step out of your comfort zone. And I always believe that it is really important to leave your comfort zone. Also, here in Germany, in everyday situations, but I think that just brings it to another level. And this is also, in my opinion, the most obvious reason for going abroad, or this was the first thing that came to my mind. Yeah, you will definitely put yourself into uncomfortable situations. Yeah, and I think that out of that, everyone can grow, and it's a great opportunity. And it also helps you in your future life when you have job interviews, which will most definitely be really uncomfortable situations. But that's just one example of many. Um, yes, that's it for stepping out of your comfort zone. And next off, it's becoming self-reliant. So for me, that was always a big struggle. And being self-reliant, still living with my parents, I was really, or I am still not the biggest self-reliant person, I would say. And I hope that when living on my own and having to also earn my own money in another country, that this will make me more self-reliant. Yeah, of course, it's deeply connected with stepping out of your comfort zone. Because when you step out of your comfort zone, you become more self-reliant. You also develop many new skills. For example, when you work at different jobs, you learn new things, and also you learn to communicate with other people, and yeah, you know how to work with other people together. That also makes you self-reliant. And it also gives you a lot of confidence, which is also a big part of being self-reliant. It also makes you confident by just being able to do things yourself, which just feels great, as most of you know, I believe. Yes. And lastly, it's learning about new cultures. Yeah, in general, just in Germany or in Frankfurt, I think we are confronted with many different cultures. But for me, for example, as a native German, if I say so, um, it's sometimes different maybe to get the feeling of how it is to be into to come into to a new country with a completely different culture. And yeah, by going abroad for a longer time, you know how it feels, or you get the feeling of how it is to be a foreigner in another country and trying to adapt to the host country's culture. Yeah, and the last point is yeah, fighting your anxiety. And Lina was able to give me some great yeah ways to do so, and she will now tell you about that as well. And I'm really happy to hear from her. Thank you.
Thank you, Finn. Exactly. So for this seminar, I chose to try out some strategies and techniques on how to deal with anxiety. And I think all of us have been in situations where we feel a bit anxious and where where psychostress just occurs. Um, yeah, so I use this seminar to try a few techniques out and also rate them. And maybe in the end, you can take some of them in your backpack for your experience abroad thing. So let's hope this works. I categorize these techniques into 5 different categories. First of all, there are techniques for mindfulness, then there are cognitive techniques, then we have physical techniques, behavior techniques, and environmental techniques. For the mindfulness techniques, a lot of them deal with deep breathing. It's just a way to focus on your breath because your breath makes you stay in the moment. Um, there are 2 strategies for breathing I tried out. The first one is called 4-7-8. And you inhale for 4 seconds, then you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then you exhale for 8 seconds. And then there's also box breathing, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4 seconds again. Then there are grounding exercises. For example, by focusing on your senses, the 5-4-3-2-1 exercise, where you identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch in the moment, then 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. You can also use sensory focus, so you specify a specific sensory. For example, the touch of something you are holding in your hand or a smell you are feeling at the moment, and then you just focus on it a lot. The cognitive techniques include positive affirmations, such as mantras you can repeat and just internalize. Possible mantras would be I am safe, or this will pass, or everything is okay. And you can also reframe the situation by taking away the negative thoughts and turning them into positive ones, which is, to be fair, quite hard sometimes. Then you can also use visualization. You can imagine you are in a safe space, for example, your home or your room, or you can also visualize that you have already had success in this situation, which is also putting your focus away. Then there are physical techniques, the progressive muscle relaxation, also PMR, where you would first tense and then release your muscles again, starting from your toes and then moving up to your head. And then there's also movement. You could use a quick exercise, and you could also stretch because it always helps to focus on the connection of your mind and your body. Then there are behavioral techniques, distraction, where you can focus on a specific task, for example, cleaning the kitchen, or you could count backwards. And maybe, if that's too easy and not taking away your focus enough, you could also count backwards from 100, but only in steps of 3. So you actually need to concentrate on the task. You can also use social interaction to talk to a friend or call a friend on the phone, or use a social media break to WhatsApp your friends. Then you also have environmental techniques where you can step out of the situation by changing the surroundings, going outside, going for a walk, or moving to a quiet space, because if situations are overwhelming, which usually is the case when you deal with anxiety, then it's also helpful to just take away the overwhelmingness by taking away the senses you are feeling in that moment. And you can also use soothing objects, for example, fidget toys. I think we all remember the fidget spinners, which were very common back in school for a few years. And also aromatherapy can help, where you use senses like lavender or maybe smell an orange, which is just a strong sense that keeps you away from the anxiety. So I also tested these out and made you a short list of my 3 favorite techniques. The first of them is box breathing. It's the 4-4-4 rule, which for me was very easy to keep in mind. So you breathe in 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, breathe out 4 seconds, and hold again. Then there's progressive muscle relaxation. There's actually a really cool tool by the Techniker Krankenkasse and health insurance, which is free. I really recommend it to you. And yeah, if you have something you can use for fidgeting, then that's also really nice. I usually just do it with my rings because I always have them around. Yeah, I think that's it for now. I hope we could help you. And yeah, wishing you all a good exam season and also good luck with correcting the exams. Thank you very much.